Hi, I'm Diana. The being that you see here with his hand up is Ashtar of the Ashtar command in the Pleiades star system. Or at least this is the face that he chooses to show to people on Earth. Now, this being, I never knew of his existence until several years ago. And someone that I met had a book with messages from him, and I had a look at it, and that was the very first time I had heard of this being called Ashtar. And so it was with him and others like him, but him being the leader. And I thought the garments that they wore were very pretty and crystals and so on, but there was a feeling about him that I couldn't put my finger on. And so I put it to the back of my mind. So going forward several years later, another person brought up the conversation about Ishtar, and it was Ashtar, sorry, and it was kind of like the first time after that initial time that I heard anyone spoke about him, because I had, as I said, relegated that memory to the recesses of my mind. And so I was quite surprised. So now they started talking about him, and again, I got that funny feeling. So, anyway, long story short, because I've been psychic all my life, but I'd never kind of come into contact with this particular being, although I have with other like off-worlders and or ancestors that not of this earth. Anyway, that's another story. But anyway, through this kind of thinking and mentally probing about this Ashtar and why I'm getting a funny feeling about him and so on, and there's a bit more to it, but I don't want to put it down here. Anyway, I came to find out his real name because he's just always called Ashtar, or Ashtar of the Ashtar command. And I came to find out his name. So in my excitement now, I thought, let me tell this person that I'd spoken to, the second one, that I found out his name. I'm going to call this person and eagerly share this information. Anyway, I thought, just let me relax here on the bed for a little while before I get up and call them. And all of a sudden, this voice, I wouldn't even try to imitate this voice, but it was horrible. He came into my field of vision and I knew exactly who he was. And he told me, don't you dare ever reveal my real name to anybody, or this person that you want to, or anybody else, or I will kill you. Well, you can imagine my shock and fear. And immediately he put his hands around my neck and started to choke me. And it was the most painful thing I had ever experienced apart from childbirth. It was so painful, and he wouldn't let go. And he kept saying, I am going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. I'm not going to stop until you are dead. And here I'm thinking, this being that so many millions of people across the world believe in and think he's good. And here he's trying to snuff out my life. And then some other kind of being came around and stopped him and actually saved me. And it was the being that been with me for like a very, very long time, and saved my life on many occasions. But what's happened is this Ashtar has stolen so much from other beings. I leave it like that, and use their power to kind of show off and uh, and dominate other species, and they are after the minds of humans because we are such a powerful people. We're literally what they would call gods in amnesia. We have so much power, but most of us do not know how to use it or even know that we have it, but they do. They do. And so he was worried, for whatever reason, that I gave his name out, that maybe somehow some, I don't know, some other maybe celestial being would pick up. I don't know. I really don't know. But anyway, obviously scared him, and to the point where he literally wanted to kill me. And as he said, that pain was so horrible. It was just so horrible. I like many of them, they spy on humans, obviously, and he obviously was spying on me, and that's why he knew that I was about to call my friend and tell them that I found out his name. And the sad thing is that they have fooled millions and millions of people across the globe. And what a shock they're going to get when they realize that they've been hoodwinked by this being and uh, his cohorts, and they show this face of like long, blonde haired, blue eyed, or sometimes white eyed, but mostly shocking blue eyes being that's supposed to be in the minds of the people that they've fooled. They're supposed to be, I don't know, a thing of beauty. I don't see it. When I look at them, I just see deception. But some people are easily fooled. Some people, sometimes they just want to feel as though they belong to something else beyond this earth. And so, what Ashtar is so good at is mixing truth with falsehoods and making things sound sweet and pretty and promising and lovely. And even now I am speaking, I am feeling that he's obviously listening, because I can feel that he would like to continue, the act of choking me from way back when. But thank goodness I have protectors around me that won't allow that to happen again. But they have this kind of generic, homogenous look about them, don't they? They look almost exactly the same, like if you would, I don't know, like manufacture a series of robots and just give each of them just a very slight difference, but essentially all exactly the same. And that is the kind of, I don't know, silly mistake they made. I've no idea. But then maybe, I don't know, maybe the intention, or they realize that they can fool some of the people, but not all of the people. But they have enough, in my opinion, already fooled. And how hard would it be to convince these people otherwise? But so the face that they show is not actually what they look like. They're actually hiding their reptilian bodies behind these faces and these shapes. They are actual reptilian beings, because if they show their true selves, people would be afraid of them. So this way, they pretend to be human looking and sweeten the people with words that they, the people, want to hear. I now read of so many people saying that they're Pleiadians or family to Pleiadians because they want to believe so badly in belonging to something or some group of people or beings that are not of this world. But actually, most of us already do belong to groups of world, but definitely not to Ashtar and his group from the Pleiadians. And I don't know. I don't know how to tell people. I mean, I don't know anyone in real life that actually believe in Ashtar, but I see so many sites online where people are literally drooling at every word that is supposed to come from him. And lovely people, they seem to have such a genuine warmth about them, saying that they're channeling this man, and they're so happy and they feel so privileged to be able to channel this man, this being. And I feel so sorry for them because, they come over as really sweet and innocent and they believe this. And this has always been our downfall. We believe in something that we can't really prove. Now, as I said, I've always had, this psychic ability passed down from my maternal grandmother and then my mother and then myself. And sometimes I wish I could get rid of it because it does come with a lot of pain at times. But I suppose on the other hand, it does allow me to see certain things that I normally wouldn't, with the kind of your everyday five senses. And not to say that we don't all have it. We all have the ability, the psychic ability that I have to varying degrees. And I think it's stronger with me because my maternal grandmother was so powerfully psychic, and then my mother, her daughter, was also very psychic, and then I think they both passed their lot down to me, and so I got kind of like a triple whammy of it. And I do know it's part of my work here on earth, but my goodness, it is not easy. So, anyway, just to let you know, no matter how sweet this being's uh, words sound, if you who are listening know about him or you believe in him, I mean, you have your own mind, or he's got a lot of it if you do believe in it, him. But I would say to you, please resist because when you believe so much and you give so much of your power, you kind of almost like having a contract with these beings that you believe in, which could be quite hard to break when you find out who they are and what they really look like. And the more you believe in them, the more that they can take control of your mind and influence you the way that they want to influence you. So, my dearest listeners, please take the utmost care if you ever come across information about him and you feel somehow, a pull to listen to what he has to say. You can listen with discernment, to allow yourself to be more aware, but I would advise you not to trust one word out of his mouth. I mean, he might say one and one is two. We know that to be true, but then he'd hook on something that is a total lie. And because you believe the one and one is two, you think that the rest of it is also true, and it is not. So take care and be aware of this being. And yeah, watch yourself. Okay? All right. Thanks, Diana.